Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families in the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Oh, good morning, everybody. It really kind of is the end of the corporate age, and we're going to go out with that tune today. The whole tune, not just the little piece that I chopped out of it. For a couple reasons. One, I've been too busy working on democracy and getting ready for the People's Summit, which is starting today with Jim Hightower tonight, actually, which is going to be badass. Bernie is tomorrow night, and I got a whole bunch more stuff to do and things going on, but we're seeing a turning point here. And that's what Bernie Sanders is going to call it at the People's Summit. It's a turning point for people in revolution. And yesterday, or last night, whatever it was over in UK world, we had some strange events happen with the election. I'm not really sure what, because it wasn't like they had a definitive winner. They don't really do things like they do here in America, make it plain and simple and then argue about it afterwards. So we've got Katie here with us, who is actually going to explain, or kind of try to explain to us, what the hell happened over there, whether it's good or bad, and we're going to talk about. Hi, Katie. How you doing?
Hi.
And we're going to talk about the French elections, right? Because there's something going on there with there's more. They're electing more people. They do more, right? So, and there's something good or bad about that. So, hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Thank you for being here.
Just got a few minutes, and then I'm going out to eat.
Yeah, that's right. So everybody, Katie has a life this evening, and she will be going out to eat. So we're going to listen to her tell us what's going on right up front. So what happened over there in the UK?
Okay, well, you need 326 seats to have a majority to form a government on your own without having to make up a coalition. In other words, deal with another party. And the Tories only managed 318, maximum 19. There's one undecided, I think, at the moment. Now, the Tories, that's the Conservatives. You then have the Labour Party. Basically, the Tories were down 13 seats, and it would have been double that if they hadn't done really well in Scotland for a separate reason. Now, Labour, on the other hand, they gained 29 seats. They now have 261. And the only Labour obviously is not going to go in with the Tories and make it easy for them, the Conservatives. So the party that's in the middle, the centre, the Liberal Democratic Party, has already said, no, we've been burned by coalitions before. We're not coming into government. The Scottish Nationalist Party and the Northern Irish Party, the DUP, are the only ones she could make a coalition with. The Scottish Party wouldn't be interested. They're closer to Labour. So they have to make a deal, and they have done so, I think, with the DUP, the Democratic Unionist Party in the north of Ireland. And they're fairly, hot-headed is what I would have said in the past, fairly conservative, let's say. Right. And the problem is, even with their 10 seats, Theresa May is still only up by 3 or 4 seats, and she has lots of people in her own party that don't agree with all kinds of things, including to do with Brexit. Oh. So she's saying, I'm making up a government. The Queen has to give permission. She's done so, but I'm not so sure she's going to be around very long. And the DUP is sort of, there are a couple of independents, but she really has very few options. And Jeremy Corbyn shocked them all, didn't shock the people maybe so much, because like Bernie, he's incredibly popular. He crisscrossed the country, and everywhere north, Scotland, right up northern England and everything, in the big cities, he was hugely popular, also London. And that hasn't happened in such a long time. The enthusiasm was amazing. And also there were several things that undermined May. They really were not happy to see her walking out of the White House holding 45's hand. And for them, that was a sign of weakness. Interesting, the whole business about handshakes. This was before, Donald started shaking hands with everybody and it became a contest. People considered that she looked weak, and they were annoyed, more than annoyed, angry that she didn't stand up to him and the treatment, over his treatment of the Mayor of London. So that was bad news for her from the start. And the other thing was, it was simply a matter, like with Bernie, hope. People are fed up with austerity, and Corbyn symbolized hope. And also, he spoke clearly and plainly. He stayed calm. I mean, Bernie had such an easy time on TV in the States compared to what Jeremy Corbyn put up with. He was attacked. He was torn apart. They were vicious. Over 18 months, they were vicious because they were so angry that he became leader of the party, stayed leader of the party, brought so many young people in, including, there were 2.3 million registered in the last month before the elections. Wow. They were really angry with him. They kept writing him off as a radical and everything. And the funniest
the media,
thing is...
Hang on, Katie, I got a question for you. So let's just take a break here.
BBC, Channel 4, etc.
Right. So was this... So let me just parallel this with U.S. media, because I want to understand here what you're saying here. Because when you said that, I'm like, no way. Excuse me, no way. Hello, did you see how Bernie Sanders was treated by the media? And you're trying to tell me it's worse. So, yeah, and Markus is nodding his head. Markus is like,
yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible.
So are they controlled?
So aggressive.
Are the media controlled by the Tories? Are they a government thing?
They're all linked up. 5 billionaires own 80% of the media in Britain.
Oh, wow.
So you can see where I'm going. And Rupert Murdoch, of course, a big chunk of that too.
Okay.
But the thing is, in 2013, this man called Jeremy Corbyn, that they were trying to link the media to the IRA, to ISIS, to you name it, won the Gandhi Prize for 30 years of peacemaking efforts. Can you imagine?
In contrast, Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize after bombing continuously for 8 years. So
it was insane. But the really, really good thing, and I agree with what you said earlier about it's happening, that things are changing, that people are coming out, that you can feel it in the air.
Yes.
I agree, and it's amazing the number of people that came out for him in spite of everything that was in the media, the papers, there was Hard Talk. Somebody put it up. Would have been Steve Collins, I'm not sure, put it up on Slack, and I watched it. It was about 3/4 of an hour. Now that's always tough to watch because they attack the person they're talking to. It is really hard questions. But the arrogance of the journalist talking to Bernie. But Bernie can stand up for himself. And every time the journalist went too far, the audience intervened, the English audience, by clapping furiously for Bernie. So it was clear they were getting the message across to the journalist. We know what's going on. He's right. And we're letting you know that. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing. Just a detail, I heard that Theresa May is a vicar's daughter, and I was thinking of Merkel and thinking, what is it about the vicar's daughters?
Really? Are they just good good to run politically because that gives them some kind of a something? I don't really know. I would be worried psychologically if you were a vicar's daughter. No offense, vicar's daughters, but you grow up in a house of religion like that. I'm a little freaky on y'all.
Yeah, you gotta.
Anyway, there's
you gotta sum it up.
Hang on, Markus, what are you saying?
You got to sum it up. She's not only a preacher's daughter; she's a scientist too.
Are you kidding me?
Is she?
So
was Thatcher?
No, I'm still in comparison. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thatcher might have been too.
Because John said he would be scared somehow, and
well, yeah, but
this combination is interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
Anyway, just 3 other comments just about the Indian. Right. That's it. I'll leave it at that after. One is a little bit like in the States. I think I'm not an expert, but I think it's not since Harold Wilson in the mid-70s have you had a proper lefty even in government, which isn't to say Corbyn is in. He isn't. Not yet, whatever. But at that point, there was an 83% income tax on top earners. Another point, I'll come back to the possibilities for the government. The journalists in the UK, as one person being interviewed, independent journalist, was saying they're white, they're middle class, they went to the same 6 universities, and they represent only a tiny minority of people in Britain.
Right.
And the last thing was something I wanted to say the other day, because to me, I think that's a real worry for the people in England. If they leave the European Union, that means they leave behind, I presume, the European Medical Agency. Now, that's a problem because UK law doesn't include the same kind of level of protection if you've been harmed by pharmaceutical products. So there's no guarantee they're going to be safe, because you'd need extra regulation brought in or put in, and the Conservatives are not into extra regulation. And you would also no longer be able to seek recompense from the pharmaceutical companies. So the state would have to pay or not. So they'd be a lot worse off from that point of view as well. Now, the only thing about the government that I want to say is, yes, so she's forming a government. We'll see whether it can stay together or whether they give up and maybe say to Jeremy Corbyn at some point, even in a couple of months, 3-4 months down the line, okay, we've had enough, you try. Because it could fall apart like that, and it could fall apart quite fast. Yeah.
And yeah, that's something. Okay, so that's something that I want to make sure everybody understands. That I was a little, before we move into the French elections, because I know you want to tell us something about the French elections, because that's all freaky. But it really, just for Americans out there, just really quick, other countries do their elections differently, and they seem to have added complexity that seems to make it work better. And I just want to leave it like that. We'll get into the differences, but with Jeremy Corbyn and the Tories and everything, and Theresa May, my understanding is that at any point in time in this, people can swap sides and he can gain more power. How does that work? Well, I don't.
Well, when they have to vote for something, you might have some people in her party who say, no, we prefer what he says. We don't like what you're putting forward.
Okay.
And because Brexit is such a toxic issue, it's not clear what way things will go.
Okay.
And
so
it is a very difficult issue, whomever has to deal with it.
All right. This is more about party line, and you're saying that they're not going to follow party line as much as maybe a GOP would follow party line. You know what I mean? Like.
They usually do, but not as religiously as the GOP does.
Okay. Markus, you were going to say something there?
Yes, I would like to add something to the smear campaign against Jeremy Corbyn. Yes, it was massive. It was absolutely overwhelming what was going on there, and I think only the Guardian was a fair newspaper against Corbyn, and another one I don't recall the name right now. But the irony about it is that the 1 million voters who registered just before this election were millennials, and it was a deep sensitive of the millennials to seek revenge for the betrayal of the Brexit. Yes. And this drove them out to the polls. Yes. They wanted to bitterly defeat the Tories and the Conservatives with Theresa May, who had nothing to offer. She even went a few days before this election. She came to the idea to introduce a kind of dementia tax, which would mean that the healthcare would be taken over by everyone personally on his own cost, up till 100. I think it was £100, right? And you can imagine who were those people? These were the voters of Tories normally, the old people, etc. And you cannot imagine her campaign was it cheaper than Hillary's? Katie, what's your opinion? I think it was cheaper.
It was insane. Than Hillary's, because, it was going after her own voters.
Yes, and this helped Jeremy Corbyn, because even if not everyone likes him and his ideas, I don't like two of his ideas, and but I go confirm with him, and I like what he's doing. But even those who don't like him were shocked by Theresa May, and they said, no, she is not the leader. We must prevent her. And what we saw yesterday in the UK, or today after the final results were clear, it was a big, huge win for Jeremy Corbyn and Labour, and nothing else.
Awesome. Well, there were two things. One, I'd say about that. One is that it's wonderful. The millennials came out, and now they can see firsthand what happens when they come out. What a huge difference they made in England. And that's brilliant for the future. The second thing is something I forgot to mention. UKIP vote disappeared. They didn't get a single seat.
Really?
And in Wales, I heard it predicted that 3/4 of the vote they got last time were going to vote Tory. Maybe. But everybody in the Tory party thought that they had all the UKIP votes sewn up, and at least a third of them went for Labour, because they were not racist. They were simply looking for a better deal. And that shocked them. In some cases, they even got more. They got even up to 90%, but that was the rarer seat. They got a big chunk of it, Labour, and that just threw the Conservatives off.
Yes.
You guys, that's interesting. Before we move on and talk about French stuff, I want to just address some people chatting in the audience here. Hey, everybody. Yeah. I didn't say good morning to everybody because we kind of wanted to just jump right into stuff. But hi, I see you all. And there's a lot of you here. And I'm not even going to try to call out all your names this morning. But you guys are talking about, Darcy had just said UKIP was wiped out, which is what you guys are relating to. And who caught it earlier? It was Jay Atkinson, 85, who caught that I said GOP was the farty party. Yes, you're right. I got it right the first time. Full of gas. Eco says our millennials are zombies. I disagree. We just have a way more confusing system going on here, and a lot less participation because our government blows.
Yeah, when you get results, they'll wake up.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that. I think we're starting to see that here. In smaller ways. The UK just had a big showing of result, right? But that was a long time coming,
And if I may, a last thing to the elections, there is not only joy because of the results, because there is another point of view regarding the Brexit negotiations, which are supposed to start in 10 days. And now you can imagine what is going on in the UK, because they have there is no majority anymore. The majority is gone. There is no chance for a hard Brexit anymore. Theresa May and the Tories have to deal with a party which denies climate change, which is against gay marriage, and wants a soft Brexit. And as Katie already stated, it is only 3 seats. It is not more. And this is why I agree completely with Katie. I say that Theresa May will only stay as long as the storm is going on in the UK. And as soon as the weather is getting calm again, she is wiped out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Good. All right.
So, one more thing. You want to run that video?
Oh, we want to run the Corbyn video? You got time to sit through that and then talk about the French thing?
It's short. Yeah, it should. Yeah, I haven't got much. Okay. Run it first, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense running it after the French part.
Yeah, right. And I just want to address hello everybody who said hello to me in the chat and hi and what was it? Where'd you go? Was it Jay Atkinson? I can't. Whoever. One of you said, "Is it just me, or does everybody in this chat not really understand the system they're talking about?" We're all there. If you're American and don't happen to live in another damn country, if you're American, and I don't understand what the hell how this shit works. All I know is that for them it's working. Do you see the difference? Mm-hmm. They're more focused on people being elected, not elected, regardless of the media spewing their bullshit. They have a structure and an election process that is actually solid. I'm not saying it's perfect, right? You guys are nodding your head, but ours is dysfunctional because we've allowed the two parties that control it to fuck it all up and corrupt it. But over there, they've kept a little better guard on shit. So their election process works. We don't understand it because we've not seen that. Wait a minute. That's weird. Ours doesn't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
What yesterday happened in the UK should be considered in the USA as a signal.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
And to just go on, because you can see what happens. Nobody ever believed that the Tories would lose that. No one. And you saw it yesterday.
Well, that's
they
actually
are in shambles now.
And actually, keep talking, because that's the perfect setup for the damn video, really.
Yeah, the thing about Jeremy Corbyn, he trusted that some of those UKIP voters were coming over, and everybody told him he was crazy. You know, Bernie talking to the supporters of Trump, same story.
Same thing.
All right, beautiful, guys. Here's Jeremy Corbyn saying the people voted for hope. BBC News.
Election fatigue forgotten. These were scenes of celebration which many Labour voters might not have anticipated when this electoral race crossed the start line. The days when political observers and members of his own party doubted Jeremy Corbyn's ability to turn round what appeared then to be a foregone conclusion and to defy predictions of a Tory landslide. By breakfast time today, the Labour leadership believed they were within touching distance of forming a government.
We've consolidated our position. The Conservative Party now seems to be falling apart. The Prime Minister, a number of Conservative MPs now are either saying our position is untenable. I think the Labour Party now is the only party that can offer stable government. So we're offering ourselves as a minority government to enable us now to, well, start the Brexit negotiations and also start to transform and rebuild our society.
So what caused such a dramatic turnaround? Looking back, the week of Labour's manifesto launch played a crucial part, leaked in advance and containing domestic policies that connected.
I was clearly wrong in feeling that Jeremy wouldn't be able to do this well, and I think he's proved me wrong and lots of people wrong, and I take my hat off to him.
The question of national leadership still hung over Mr Corbyn, but here again there was a swing in opinion after Theresa May's U-turn on the so-called dementia tax. A change heightened by what people saw as passion and straight talking at a series of Corbyn-led rallies and during the final TV debate, which Mrs May declined to join.
People voted for hope. Young people and old people all came together yesterday. Very high turnout, huge increase in the Labour vote, and they did it because they want to see things done differently and they want hope in their lives.
In Coventry, one of the cities where Labour performed better than expected, those themes still resonated.
I hear a lot of people, kind of friends and stuff, talking about it's better for the underprivileged, and which is excellent. I think it's what society ultimately really needs.
A lot of my friends went out to vote, and we all went for the Labour Party because it does affect us.
He did strike a chord certainly with us, was the education for the schools, the free meals.
There were low points, the series of gaffes by Diane Abbott that led to her replacement as Shadow Home Secretary on the grounds of ill health. She says she will be back. Mr Corbyn's long-held beliefs on nuclear weapons and concerns over his record on security issues also presented hurdles, as did his bumpy ride on Woman's Hour, when he struggled to find the figures which supported Labour's plan to offer free childcare.
So how much will it cost?
I'll give you the figure in a moment.
You don't know it?
But the public were warming to the Labour leader in greater numbers, and yesterday that change of heart was reflected in the polling booths.
One word didn't crop up in my conversations this morning: Brexit. Labour voters did acknowledge that extricating Britain would now be an even knottier problem, but they said when it came to casting their vote, issues closer to home were a deciding factor. Robert Hall, BBC News, Coventry.
Before anybody says anything, I just love British old proper reporting. Robert Hall,
the Queen's English.
Oh, it's so good in their phrasing. It's just so much. It's just so proper. Did you hear the MP in there? Everybody, an MP is like a senator. I'm guessing something close, right?
It's a congressman.
All right, House congressman. So, did you hear the guy though? I was wrong. Jeremy proved me wrong. I was wrong. Hats off to Jeremy Corbyn because I was wrong. You won't find a fucking politician in America that says that. What, Katie?
Yeah. They won't all say that as clearly, but they're certainly coming around. They have to.
Right. Well, that's what. But what my point is that you've never heard a politician of the United States of America say that on camera, fucking ever. They never say, I was wrong. They go, I dance around it. I'll acknowledge that something was different than what I thought. I'll see your alternative fact and raise you one. But never, I was wrong. Just want to.
Okay, but that's the way Theresa May spoke to the journalists afterwards when they said, you're going to resign. She wouldn't answer it. She did say she was sorry for those who didn't get re-elected or whatever, but she wouldn't take responsibility.
Interesting.
She spoke and she just they were going to do the best deal for Britain. Well, we'll see.
So very Hillary about her.
Yes.
Right.
Even more removed from reality. I don't know.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Hillary thinks she's the fucking resistance. What is? You can't get more far removed from reality than that. But
she held a kind of rallies, and she removed the workers from their halls and sent them home to replace them by activists in favor of her.
Are you
and
kidding?
Then she made her speech. Yes, exactly.
Well, that's very Trump.
Yeah, I heard that they were calling her Kim Young May because she turned up at empty factories with 12 people outside, staged, the whole thing.
Wow, that's hilarious. You guys want to talk about the Queen? The Queen's helping May too, says Eco Sutra. All right, we're gonna be done talking about the British stuff because we have to talk about the French stuff now, and we ran the Corbyn video. Congratulations, Britain, for moving more towards something for yourselves and less for a bunch of rich fucks. Katie, tell us all about the French.
Right. So you know that Macron was elected president a couple of weeks back, and tomorrow, Sunday, there'll be the first round of the elections for the parliament. But in between, he names a prime minister. So he named one called Edouard Philippe, and he was a deputy and mayor of a city called Le Havre, etc. Also from the ENA, which is an elite school that Macron went to, he has a great network of connections to mayors and deputies and everything. So somebody definitely to have on your side when you're trying to get people to join your party, which he has to do in a hurry before these elections. Right. So, okay, but I think they are friends, so it goes beyond that. Anyway, so once that was done, the Prime Minister submits proposals to the President as to who he thinks would be good to have in the cabinet. And the President goes with it, through the names, and then he makes the final decision. And I mean, I know who they are, but it doesn't matter. The main point is there are 22 ministers, half male, half female, from all different parties, and half were in politics before, half are from what they call civil society, so from outside politics.
Interesting.
Now that is all great. You do have to have fairness in the elections, and there's also a financial incentive for being fair to women, etc. in France in the elections. However, there's two or three I just want to mention. One is somebody called Nicolas Hulot. He's in charge of the ecological transition for the government and for the next 5 years or whatever. And he has been asked by 4 different presidents to join their government and help them out. And he's always refused because he didn't want a label. But at this point, I think he realizes, I have to do something, things are getting really serious. And maybe he trusts that Macron is more pro renewable energy or something. I'm not quite sure, but I think he is. Well, now, that was one. There's a second, and that I just say in brackets. All of these people, many of them are women coming from civil society, from outside politics.
Nice.
I'm kind of curious. It's good, but we don't really know much about them. One of them was president of Danone or something, which is a big, huge food company, Nestle, Danone, etc.
They make yogurt.
Yeah, but it's a huge multinational, which makes me nervous when the multinationals are directly involved, but whatever. The third is the most interesting to me. I don't know anything about him, but he's a radical lefty, and he's in charge of agriculture and food.
Great.
Now, I hope that means that we're going to get good food in future. Anyway, that's all I want to say about them.
Do you have bad food? You're in France.
Well, I
Give
don't
me a
know.
fucking
Compared
break.
to the States, no. But you can't trust what's on the labels anywhere. I don't.
Look at Marcus's
I'm very
face.
suspicious.
What do you,
Come on, no, don't, Katie, don't tell me this, because what La Cuisine concerns, I was always rooting for France. Please don't destroy my.
It's not. They do have wonderful cuisine. It is delicious.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think I told somebody recently when we were small, and sorry to any Luxembourgers listening in, but this is what we were told, that a Luxembourger, now this is 30, 40 years ago, a Luxembourger is somebody who enjoys French cuisine in German proportions. Portions.
what does that mean? Big, small?
They enjoy good food, but in bigger quantities. Now I don't know about the quantities anymore.
And the French people enjoy smaller meals and take much longer time.
Yes, it goes on forever.
It's a celebration. It's a kind of celebration.
Because of what?
You could sit for 7 hours over a baptismal meal.
Right, but that's because you guys are drinking wine the whole time. I mean, if I was able to sit there and fucking drink booze all day and be like, yep, wine, cheese, French bread, French fries. If you're drinking wine all day, the Germans have beer, right? That's why you guys.
No, I prefer wine. I have to say. Anyway, so that's as regards that. Now, the other thing is the parliamentary elections are what's coming up now on Sunday. And it's a 2-round system, but the main one is the first round. There are 577 constituencies. Each one elects 1 MP. And they have to, they're elected for 5 years. And they have to have at least 25% of registered voters have to show up for it to count. And if you get more than 50%, you're immediately elected. That rarely happens.
Wow.
So any candidate with over 12.5% of the vote gets through to round 2. So you already have a lot less. There are more than 60 parties going up in the first round because each of them went back to doing their own thing and not being together with other parties. That they can see to later, but they, I know that Mélenchon has people going up in every constituency.
All right, hang on. Before you move on, just a question about that. Okay. Because I know in Australia they had a ridiculous amount of parties on their paper ballot, like 127 parties on their ridiculous ballot. But Australia is way weirder than anybody else. 60 parties, but my question is about how many. My question is, how do all those parties have support? How are they? Are they funded by national monies? How does that work? Is it publicly funded?
Yes and no. If you win at least 1% of the vote in at least 50 constituencies, you get 1.4 euros per person per year.
Okay, wait.
For the 5 years.
So what's a constituency? Is that like a county? What's a constituency?
It's the small area that elects 1 member of parliament. Okay. Well, it's usually about 100,000 people. Small. The party will make money if they appeal to enough people, and it's not impossible. 1%, in 50 constituencies. Yeah. Now, if they don't have at least 48% of women and probably other minorities in among the candidates, they get less money. And there's also something about 37,000 euros that they get the party gets for every deputy they get in to the parliament, delegate, deputy, whatever way you want to put it. Now, each of the parties, they do their own thing. Macron, though, there are a number, maybe about 50 of the constituencies he hasn't put anybody up in. Or there's no candidate, because there is somebody with a similar point of view to his from one of the other parties, and basically I think he's hoping that they have more chance of being elected and they will join him afterwards. 3 of his ministers were kicked out of the centre-right party, the Républicains, because they joined him in government. He has a mix. He has socialists, he has the right, he has centre.
So they get kicked out of one party and they have to join in with another party, but because you got 60 parties and it's not like there's 2 massively controlling parties, are there like...
You'll only have a few will get through the first round.
Oh, okay.
You will only have a small number. That's
okay. So the
some
first
of them
round
just
eliminates...
go up to make a point or to make themselves known.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they get the option. They have equal representation at that first round, right?
Yeah.
And just by
Yeah.
contrast, everybody, the Green Party couldn't even get themselves on the ballot in all 50 states because they needed 15% of the vote or
Yeah,
some.
that's
I don't even know
insane.
what the fucking deal is with that. But there's so much bull. We can't
Yeah.
even get another party to be considered. And let me ask you this question: with airtime in France, do they get equal air? How does airtime work with that, or is it the
I
MSM?
think so, because the debates, they were absolutely scrupulously fair to each candidate, that they got almost to the second the same amount of time in all
Really?
the debates. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Could you imagine trying to do that here? They'd be like, no, ratings would tank. We can't do that. Where do we fit the advertising time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to do it in England too. They didn't want to, but they had to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. That's interesting facts, Americans. Just listen to how that works. That's different. That's some
Now,
crazy shit.
very little else just about. The one is that there's a substitute goes up with each candidate, so that if the candidate is elected to government, there's somebody there to take over from him. And if he's kicked out of his job as minister of whatever, he can go back to the job, and the substitute moves back wherever they came from. Now, there's 577 constituencies include 27 from overseas French departments and collectivities, and 11 for French residents living overseas. So they do try to take everybody into consideration, that they can vote. If, by the way, the second tour, it's just the highest number wins. The only thing I didn't say about the first, I should have said that before, is if nobody makes 12.5% of the vote, then the two highest place go through. And so second round, the best wins, and that's it. Now,
awesome.
And the only other thing I wanted to just mention was Macron. He came, now, there's one thing's been on my mind for weeks. I do not hate Macron, okay? My problem with Macron is that he is a very attractive man who has a certain charm, and who has a beautiful manner of speaking, and who is what I call a pretty package selling a poisonous message, neoliberalism. And I kind of think of myself a bit like Jimmy Dore, a kind of a nose for bullshit, and I don't usually fall for things, not too easily anyway, whereas so many others around me do. And in this part of France are a lot of very uneducated people, and you see them being scammed all the time, and it angers me. So that's where the anger was coming from when I was talking about Macron. It's not personal. He seems to be very nice. He seems to have a sense of humor, etc., etc. But I just feel this isn't fair. On the surface, everything is so great. He's up there with Merkel. He's squeezing 45's hand until 45 had to give up and let go. He says the right thing. He invites the scientists over. All of that is good, and I enjoyed it too. But on the other hand, he wants to completely rework what they call the Code du Travail, which is the rules governing how employees are treated in work. And there are a whole bunch of different rules. He wants to get rid of loads of them and reform the salaries, not in favor of the workers, by the way. He wants to put a ceiling on monies paid to anybody who's fired for reasons that are not correct. The law says you have to pay them a certain amount. He wants to put a ceiling. Little companies don't have to pay much, but basically he wants to make it easier to fire and then so-called easier to hire. He wants to limit the number of groups that go between the employers and the employees so that it's easier for the employers. And this I didn't even know about, but it doesn't surprise me. I came across, he wants to use Article 38 of the Constitution to ask the Parliament for the right to basically pass a rule by executive order. And you can do that for a limited amount of time when it's on a particular subject. And then the Congress will be like, the Assemblée Nationale has to okay these orders. But a lot aren't happy because he doesn't want dialogue between the parties. He just thinks it's a waste of time. He wants to get on with his plans. Now, that makes a lot of people nervous. He wants to work also on the EU. That's good. But he also wants a common budget for the EU, which me, coming from 1/2 small countries, makes me a bit nervous, because there's always been kind of the big countries sort of want to take over when they can. Yes, I know Germany probably too. But anyway, it makes me nervous when I'm from a small country, and I lived a long time in Luxembourg too. He does have a couple of nice things. In priority zones, and I presume that means poor areas, he wants to limit to 12 children in a class, and he wants bilingual classes, etc. That's all good. And he wants also to put through a certain number of rules that in politics, you can't employ family members. That happened during this election cycle. That's why that came up. You can't have more than 3 mandates, one after the other successively. But then he talked also about creating a democracy bank, possibly a public, I'm not sure. And they would be there to give loans to candidates and political parties. And I thought, what is that? So that they don't systematically have to go to private banks. But to me, that sounds strange. He wants to reduce the number of parliamentarians. And then he wants this task force around him. He said it was for ISIS, but basically 50, 60 people, guards, whatever, available 24 hours a day. And if anything happens, within 30 minutes, they're sent off to act, react, whatever. He wants also to keep the state of emergency in force. That affects, to me, mostly Paris, possibly Marseille, I don't know.
Okay.
And the only good thing there is, if he doesn't get a majority in government, then he has to change some of that because he won't get the support in the parliament.
It's amazing how that works.
So
it's amazing how that works. If you don't have the support of everybody, then, you know, it'd be great if it worked that way over here, but it doesn't.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to. If you just hit the audience up real quick. So thank you, everybody. Barbara Bartleson saying good morning to everybody. Good morning. And love the description. Bev was mirroring your description there of a pretty package selling, or a pretty face selling a poison package. It sounds just like Justin Trudeau, which I would agree there.
I had him in mind as well.
Yeah,
so.
Did you? Yeah, I mean,
it's sad because you want to trust the person.
Yes.
But, you know, and
well,
so many people do that.
That's
you know.
That's the whole reason we don't have a. That's the whole reason we don't have a dictator, Katie. And then I'm excited to see what happens, because it seems like they've elected some different people that are going to really force a discussion on the issues, instead of a whole bunch of people agreeing the same way like we have in America that just drive through whatever policy they want. So.
Now, just 2 other things to finish up on France. One is, I was wondering how he got where he got so fast. And basically, he was mentored by a lot of very powerful people who've been in politics behind the scenes for 20 years and more. And that's how he got up into the position he was in I hate that word, Rothschild's Bank. I can't say that. And also there were links mentioned, but it was said so fast I didn't want to tune in to Nestle and Pfizer's, and I thought, okay, I don't want to know about this. The other thing, I've forgotten what it was. Let me see.
That's quite all right. We've covered more than I have asked for, and we're already past your time. We're at 11:16, so.
Yes. Can I just say one other thing to do with Ireland, not to do with France or England?
Yes.
As of the 13th of June, there's a minority government also in Ireland. It's centre-right, Fine Gael mostly. There's some smaller groups, which is the most right we have in Ireland. We don't have anything more right than that. We've got a lot of left-wing parties and then some in the centre, but mostly left. And the previous Taoiseach, which is Prime Minister, retired, resigned, whatever. And on the 13th of June, Leo Varadkar is the new Taoiseach, Prime Minister. And I mention him for the following reason. He's 38 years old, the youngest Taoiseach we've ever had. He's half Indian. He's a trained doctor. He's gay. He's a little to the right of Fine Gael. Very good in lots of ways, but again, everybody's going on, oh, first for Ireland, first young, He's also a neoliberal. And it's sort of more personality-driven talk. Again, the pretty package, you know, but it's a neoliberal leader again, for all the other good things about him. Okay, that's it.
Awesome, Katie. Thank you so much, Katie, for reporting for us, our EU correspondent. And I guess we'll find out what happens with the French elections on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cheers, everybody. I'm going to eat Chinese. and it's very good.
Enjoy Chinese.
Enjoy your meal.
You got good Chinese food there?
Sorry, Dennis.
Is there good Chinese food there? Just out of curiosity.
There is. It depends where you go, but my husband started off in the hotel business, and then he went out and back and did more studies and went into civil service or whatever, so he can cook, and he has a nose for a good restaurant, and I've wanted to go there for ages.
Wonderful.
All right.
Enjoy that. Thank you, Katie.
Enjoy it.
Will do. Okay, I'll catch up tomorrow. Cheers,
Yeah.
everybody. Sorry in chat, I can't do both talk and follow chat. I just,
No, can't. Come on.
Hello, everybody.
See you.
Technique, Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Katie. Awesome. It was a great report. Yeah, everybody was glad. It was like that. Thank you. I'm glad you like that, everybody. Katie takes a lot of time to put some details in there for us. Appreciate that. I forgot to show this. Thought that was cute. Blunder Woman, Theresa May, the Evening Telegraph. Quite interesting. That again, a lot like Hillary. I don't know. Neither one wants to admit that. Kind of interesting. All right, everybody. Moving on. We got a lot going on. Yeah. Thanks for that compliment, Jelly Love. She did wonderful reporting. Okay. Where are we at here? Just one small, brief second on Trump. One small. Because I really don't care, everybody, what's going on with Comey and the FBI and all that internal bullshit. I just thought this was hilarious. Just, despite so many false statements and lies, total and complete vindication, and wow, Comey is a leaker. I don't think he knows what that word means. Vindication. I asked him. I said, this isn't vindication, Donnie. It's just, it doesn't matter though, right? This is just all bullshit game. Let them do their game, play around. John McCain babbled some incoherent crap at him for 7 minutes. We don't even know what that was. I don't even understand. John McCain must be dealing with dementia, and we're not talking early onset. We're just talking dementia. So somebody ought to help John with that. I don't really know what the fuck was going on in his head. Didn't really lend any goodness to the proceedings. And even better, the excuse now being used. It's like, he's just a toddler. He doesn't know any better. Paul Ryan's trying to make up excuses. He didn't realize he couldn't obstruct justice. Nobody told him, and so he obstructed, and then he didn't know. What are you going to do? We hired him to be the president of the fucking United States, not come in and shit his pants and act like a 5-year-old and embarrass everybody. I mean, come on, Paul. Have some fucking standards. Just any standards. Beyond they breathe and speak.
We are talking about Paul Ryan, right?
Paul Ryan, who's continuing to defend 45. Doesn't matter what he does. Well, we know he shit himself and then wiped it all over the Lincoln desk. He's just learning. He didn't know you couldn't shit yourself in the Oval Office and wipe your poopy on the Lincoln desk. I'm sorry.
Yes, but I think calling up Paul Ryan to have a spine, this is this is absolute nonsense.
He was trying to borrow one from Rubio, right? Just, I don't have one.
Yeah, exactly.
Marco left his in the office that he had to vacate in a hurry because of the angry people. And, yeah. Hi, everybody. You guys are having a great conversation. I have really done a good job. Catherine W., I felt bad for McCain. Anyone with an aging parent with dementia knows what that means. I know. I'm not joking when I say that. The poor guy really is there. I think we got a lot of people in government that really are there. Ronald Reagan really was there, and who knows how long Reagan was really there. I mean,
He didn't.
I mean, we've got a lot of people that just sit in their seats when they can get to them in Congress and fall asleep because they're not physically fit to even be working. They should be in a nursing home. Yet, because we have an asleep democracy, they're like, oh, I'm going to vote for that casket this time. Same casket I voted for last time. It's got a face on it. Supposedly votes for me somewhere in Congress. Just unbelievable. Anyway, you guys are talking about the tar sands? yucky stuff there. We're all the way to the Chelsea. No, I got to talk about the People's Summit. I'm like going through like events. So the top story was just 45 and him being dumb. But really what we have going on is the People's Summit this weekend, which is incredible, right? And so let's look at all these things. Let's look at all these things. Tonight, we start with this. Jim Hightower, from Resistance to Power. He's doing a welcome, and there's a lot more going on. And the reason we know there's a lot more going on, I might as well just skip to the good part. There's a link. All the links, of course, are always in the description of the YouTube document, you guys. But this year, the People's Summit really did a beautiful job of organizing all of the live streams. This is one page. And on this one page, you can click between the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. We're on the 9th right now. And here's the link to every live stream. They are going to cover all of the breakout sessions. Right? The main evening, here's the Political Revolution Now with Bernie Sanders. That's on the 10th. Here's June 11th. Everything right here on one page. So you don't have to watch this with me. Right? You can watch this there. You don't have to look at all the Twitters and stuff that we put on here. You can watch it there and won't have to deal with me messing up audio or hearing weird sounds come through. You could join our chat, though. Right? So you watch the beautiful stream being provided by the People's Summit and then come over here and chat with us while we're doing that. And here's a reason why you want to keep both. Because Scott Galindez is there. Scott's already had a conversation with Jeff Weaver via email and some other guys, and he's working it to try to get an interview with either Jane or Bernie. And you know Scott's going to be there interviewing a bunch of other people. Jane and Bernie are going to be there, but not at the same time, Marcus. Right? So we're working it. We're trying. We're going to see what we can do. But Scott knows all those folks. He's there. He's going to be interviewing a bunch of people. And so I'll be cutting from the People's Summit. Not like tonight, we're just doing Jim Hightower and we're going to go through that. And Scott doesn't think he'll be interviewing anybody. Saturday starts with a big old panel. Actually, it starts with a small panel and then there's a big panel. But Voices of the Resistance. There's a morning panel that starts at 8:30. At 9 a.m., and this is 9 a.m. Central Time, there is a big panel with Amy Goodman and Danny Glover and I think Jane Sanders and several other people that I can't remember. Naomi Klein and anyway, it's a big. Go to the page and look at it. Here, actually, Ashley created a lovely. Here, Ashley Terry with all of the event cards, really kicking some ass for us. Amy Goodman, Danny Glover, Jane Sanders, Naomi Klein, and Katrina Vanden Heuvel, who I have no idea who she is, and that'd be cool to hear her talk. You ever heard of her, Marcus?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Well, what about you guys? All right. So that's going to happen. Then Saturday night, the main event, the Political Revolution Now with Bernie effing Sanders. Okay. And there's an article in The Guardian where he talks about what this is. And he says it's a turning point. This is a turning point for us. And we're going to learn about that this weekend. We're going to learn about where we're headed and where we're going. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right now in my democracy here in Lynn County. And what I was dealing with yesterday a lot, and today even more so, is connecting with a group called the Digital Left. And we're combining resources and collaborating and working together to gain more reach. And my Democratic Party here wants to utilize all of this. They're very excited about utilizing all of this, finding the resources to run candidates through a school and provide everything that they need. Starting now, we're 17 months away from our next elections. 17 months. But we're going to create all their websites, their social media accounts, get them rocking, get funding going, start creating video clips, getting these persons airtime, getting them, build their ground force now. This is when you start it now. And we're going to be ready to take back every progressive seat in Lynn County and beyond. Right? It's really, those of you who know how long I've been working this, even prior to Bernie Sanders and BTV, know that I've been trying to find support to do this on the ground with a group of people permanently and turn it into something where people eventually go from volunteer to some kind of an internship or maybe even a living wage. And the people I was speaking with yesterday were like, so in order to make this sustainable, we're going to have to pay you and other people, right? It's like,
and you said yes, of course.
Well, Ashley was in on the call. You know Ashley, right, Marcus? And everybody else. But anyway, Ashley was on the call, and he started laughing. And Jim and Jeffrey were here, and they said, what are you laughing at? He goes, nobody ever talks about money. John never talks about it. There's no money ever involved. John never talks about money. So I'm glad you're talking about money, because we need to talk about it. That was Ashley's response.
Very good.
And I said, whatever you want to do, if you want to pay volunteers, that's great. Make it happen. If you can make it happen, great. I've just been waiting for people that want to make it happen. Now they want to make it happen. And we have the resources. There are entities now out there. You know, Our Revolution and the big names that we know are doing specific things. But there are other organizations like the Digital Left that are providing the services for candidates that we actually need right now. And so we're connecting these. It's really awesome. It's coming together. It really is. It's coming together. And I think what happened in the UK is a big boost for all of us. Bernie Sanders is going to definitely talk about that. His ideas are gaining so much popularity in states right now. It's incredible. And Trump and co are doing everything they can to make themselves look bad and worse every day, which just helps us. All right? Keep fucking it up, please. What are you guys talking about? Espresso coffee, not meth? Okay. I'm all for that. Chili Love? What are you guys talking about? Plutonium? I love coming in here and finding
it's something about radiation or
radiation, plutonium, black tea.
Are we so far already, or what's going on?
Oh, the Hanford radiation leak. I saw something in the papers that got worse.
Okay.
I saw something that got on the papers. Jesus, I was reading the paper. No, I saw something in the internet about that. Doesn't surprise me that it's gotten worse. There's more though. Bernie Sanders tomorrow night, guys, and then Sunday morning, Nina Turner starts us off in the morning with "Wake the F Up for Justice." You know, Nina Turner will bring it. If you're not awake, she will wake you up. Right. So we got that.
She will keep me away from sleeping.
Yes. Oh man, what time's gonna that be for you? That's 6:30 a.m. for me.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's nice for you.
Yeah.
All right, so we got all those things going on. In between that, everybody, we will be hearing from Scott Galindez. And while this is all going on, the Digital Left will be restreaming the event on Facebook. So the People's Summit broadcasting all this to YouTube. I'm grabbing it from YouTube. We're going to host it here, and we're going to intersperse Scott's live interviews with people. Digital Left is going to grab either the clean feed from the People's Summit or our feed from Scott, and they're going to run that through Facebook. This is how we work together. And you know we're not going to be the only streams. There's going to be a shit ton of other people grabbing it and resharing it. This is how we beat the fuck out of MSM and their reach. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
You know, we doing it. And Dennis, I see you saying, John, I will be there the whole time. Bought a lot of black tea. Nice. You're a badass, Dennis. I appreciate that. We'll have to talk later if I ever get a freaking chance about what you asked, how you can help. Really, just social media blasting and sharing and being engaged is being there, so I don't feel like I'm alone talking to a bunch of nothing. And thank you, Darcy, for cutting the clips. I saw you cut a clip of Misty K. Snow, the interview we did the other day. Thank you so much. We'll probably run that during the show. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And she just dropped it right there. With the people clip. There you go. Share that, everybody. That's Darcy's clip right there of an articulate 31-year-old running for office, running for Utah's 2nd district, speaks well, so much better. speaks well betterer than all of the suit and ties that we have in office there right now. And me, apparently. And me. What are we talking about? Who's arguing Fukushima is worldwide knee bone connected to the hip bone logic? And Ninetail says, except your logic is woven in saying that your lack of understanding quantity of the event. Blah, blah, blah. Are we arguing the depth of the disaster of Fukushima?
Can we?
I don't know. Okay, do we need to? Why don't we do it like this? It is one of many, many, many things that is bringing about our swift demise. Eat wisely. You know, it really is. Debating the severity of it is not on focus. Does that make sense? Just curious. You know, solutions. I don't need to debate. I don't need to quantify it. It's a fucking mess, and it's bad.
Yeah.
That's.
And is it right? The last time we reported about it was the robot they sent in, and which melted like nothing, right?
Yeah, Fukushima. I mean, it just keeps they've lost the core. It's somewhere in the ground in the ocean. Radiation's going everywhere. Granted, the amount of radiation is small comparatively to the vastness of the ocean, and it does get absorbed or dispersed, but it's not like it's going to stop in the next 1,000 years. You know? We may not be here before that thing. I mean, that's the thing people don't get. It's not like it's not like it's going to biodegrade, folks. It has a half-life, right? You all know that. That's what you're talking about is you know. And Ninetails is saying, yeah, the math and stats doesn't signal a true global issue. Exactly. It's not the catastrophe that's going to mobilize us. It's just one of many that's going to fuck us. We'll find out later when people start pulling shit tons of dead fish out of the ocean. Right? I mean, it's part of the systems collapse. And that's the problem. To everybody that's arguing these different things, I get it. That's the problem. We could stay here all day, 24 hours 7, and talk about every single problem we have with the environment and how all of them together are working to destroy us, and that we're responsible for the vast majority of them. But really what we need to do is say, how long is it going to take until everybody recognizes that we need to shut the fuck up and get to work fixing it before we die? That's it. And the frustration is that it's so much, it's too much. It's like trying to explain to an average American who's been disconnected from reality for decades that the Tooth Fairy isn't real, Santa Claus isn't real, Jesus isn't fucking real, Allah isn't fucking real, Christmas is a bullshit, you know, whatever. It's just like knock every indoctrination they've ever had out of their minds, replace it with something else, and tell them that in order to understand it, they have to have some fucking education. Not happening here. What happens is, oh shit, my house is flooded with 3 feet of water, and it happened the last Sunday and the Sunday before that and the Sunday before that, and I don't think I can live here anymore. That's what's happening. Why is Jesus being so mean to me, Marcus?
Yeah, the Jesus question. Why is Jesus so mean to us?
I don't know. Why are we so mean to ourselves?
I have no clue.
I don't know. He seems nicer to the Germans. I don't know what that is. Asshole.
Thank you.
Well, because he's crappy to you guys for a while. You earned it. All right, guys. Sinkholes worry me. They just open up and swallow people. I know, but there are not enough near DC. We need more in DC. One right over the White House or under the White House. The Mar-a-Lago one is good, but it's not. It needs to expand. Right? You know, they've got some Secret Service team working on that, right? Underneath, like, we got to fill the dirt back in. What the fuck are we going to do here?
It would be great if it would get bigger the more Trump gets crazy, or the more Trump tweets, the bigger it all gets. This would be great. It would make him crazy, you know?
Yes. Yes. Jesus, John Warren, that's awesome. Jesus saves, Buddha steals and scores. But it's Muhammad for the block.
Yeah. And touchdown.
Bring in your sport. Goal!
Yeah.
You guys enjoy your football over there, but the first time, I don't know when, I went to Mexico on one of the trips I've been down there. I think this was Mazatlan back in like 06, and we were there was soccer going on, and we were sitting in a little cantina, and I was paying attention to soccer, and somebody scored, and I have never, the announcers, and they're like, goal, and they just keep going, like going, and going.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, he must have had the biggest lungs. It was goal. And I think I finished my meal. I got up, I went to the restroom, I came back, and he was still there. Goal. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. And this is why we had we Germans felt a little bit that we need to give them a rest, those announcers. In 2014, the half final between Germany and Brazil, so he could have take care of his lungs, and it was not needed so much to shout.
Oh, all right. Well, good.
You remember the result, right, John?
No. What
no,
are you
don't?
I was looking at sorry, that one to see. What were we?
I'm talking about the World Championship in 2014.
I remember the result. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even.
Okay.
There was a championship, 2014.
Oh, come on. All right.
I have no idea.
You don't get the joke. Okay, I see it. Yes.
No.
Sorry.
I do. That I wouldn't know anyway. Are you being sarcastic? Were you dropping sarcasm on me?
I'm never sarcastic, John. Never.
No. I see what you did there. All right. By the way, who asked why we weren't talking about Dick? Paula. Why aren't we talking about dicks yet? Fine. You want to talk about dicks? Here's the Dick article. Demand for elephant skin, trunk, and penis drives rapid rise in poaching in Myanmar, wherever the fuck place this is. What is it with people and their fucking weird things? A growth in demand for elephant parts to be used in traditional medicine in Asia means the number of elephants being killed in Myanmar is rising. For penis dick? People want penis dick? Or elephant dick? Why would you want elephant dick? In any shape or form?
If you don't get the blue pills, then you got to believe that, Why are they hunting? What's it in English? The rhinoceroses, the ones with the horn, and they're cutting off the horn and make something which they describe to be good for the potence which is completely bullshit. There's no scientific proof about it.
Right, it's just crap. People are making up that crap forever. I mean, now we really do have dick pills that really do work and get you in trouble, but this is just crap. And thank you, everybody. Cat says, John, thank you. We need dick. Do you? Thank you. That's TMI.
It turns out
what?
I'm questioning. When you were young, a child, were you a Boy Scout or something like this?
Me?
Yeah,
I was.
Because you said dicks, okay, and then you, like a miracle, you have a dick article prepared, and
it's on the title card. I said we were going to talk about dicks.
Okay, I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's because the Guardian.
Maybe I was
penis.
distracted. Okay.
Well, and because I always try to have one dick something in here, right? it's you got to have the penis humor because because we do. It's what we do.
Okay.
But yeah, and as far as being a Boy Scout would not have prepared me to pull. I was going to say to pull dick out, but we're just gonna.
Nine, I'm just referring to the slogan, man.
I know.
Always prepared.
Always prepared to pull your dick out.
This is your edition, man.
I know. It's my edition. It's my extension of the joke.
Yes, it's your extension of jokes. Okay, enough with dicks, I think, for today.
What are you guys saying? What, dried dick? Don't ask me what a penis dick is. It's just me saying the same word twice because I'm out of my fucking mind. Don't even worry about it. You dickless taste.
Why would you want elephant dick? Answer: baby elephants.
Very factual. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I could see mom elephants. Never mind. We're just not even going to go into that. There's your dick stuff. You want to dig? There it is. We're going to move backwards from dick stuff to maybe something a little more.
Okay.
How much time do we have? 11:42? Shit, we don't even have time for that. Let me see. I don't even know. I had a Der Spiegel thing in here, but it's basically the Germans pointing out how fucking stupid we are again, and there's really no reason to... It's like, we feel so sorry for the U.S. They're so stupid. They do so much damage to themselves. Don't they realize this?
There's no actual news in this interview. It was with our foreign minister Sigmar Gabriel, and I think we all covered this already. That Germany is not too happy with the U.S. administration, and yes, it was about the reason. And we all know this.
Yes, thank you. That's what it is. Everybody in the world has some sympathy for us at this point. Like, Jesus, we didn't realize how fucking stupid you were. We're so sorry. How can we help you? You know, that's basically what it's like. Before it was like America. God, they're just assholes. Now it's like, oh, we get it. I'm sorry. We can help you there. You know, that's just empathy. I really appreciated that. Should I make clips of these dick discussions? Darcy, you should make a mashup of just as many different dick chunks you can find. Well, that sounded horrible. Dick chunks. Nobody wants to combine those two words ever again. Marcus is like, God help us. Yes, that would be a great way to showcase the quality independent media we put together here. Is to cut up a clip of all the dick stuff. I could use that when promoting this service for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, dicking around with John and Markus.
Since we won't have a show tomorrow, that will be the Awake for Tuesday. Where's the dick? With John and Marcus?
Tuesday, I got to work longer, so I can't make it to the show.
So Tuesday's going to be longer and harder for you, Marcus.
Yes.
I understand.
I will be at home right when the show is over, I guess.
Oh, well, fine. So it'll be a solo show. So it'll be dickless with John or something.
No, I'm just kidding. I will be with the big stuff with you.
Oh, all right. Fine.
We got to get through this.
Oh, gross, Phil. I don't even want to know. Not even. No. Yes. Everybody's like you.
What?
Have John do a mashup of him saying dick auto-tuned to the national anthem. Dick, 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 dick. I won't be here Tuesday to see the dicks. I'm sorry, Paula. You know, if you ever want to just see some American dicks, you could go on MSM. There's a lot of places you could find American dicks. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Watch C-SPAN for a while. Jeez.
Yeah.
WhiteHouseDickPics.com. Ask Anthony Weiner if he's set that up yet. He would be the right guy to run that org. You know? Seriously. That is a great mashup. We got to do that. Send it to Jimmy Dore. See if he's got some dicks. You could do it anyway. What Paul used to say. Can't we lay off the dick joke? Kevin, really? Are you offended? Are you upset? I'm sorry.
Phil Britton, to answer your question, yes.
All right. Don't even know that. We're all right. Wait, how much time we got? 15 minutes. I don't think it's appropriate to play this serious thing now that we've just spent 5 minutes or more talking about dick. So, gonna move on from that. Did you know that Trump was going to pretty much destroy the money he sends to the National Endowment to the Arts and all the other stuff? Just so you know that. One of the things that happens in fascism as quickly as they can make it happen is the destruction of anything that makes human beings more than just a servant, right? Anything that rounds out a civilization, good education, arts, parks and recreation, right? Wants to just turn those into utility spots, resource pools. It's really sad. It's really sad. Pussies need fairer time. All right, well, really, in order to do like vagina time, we'd have to do vagina time with Laura Livengood because it's not like Marcus and I can. Come on.
No.
Nope. Marcus is like, nope. I'm not going to do the vagina jokes. Nope. Pussy jokes.
No,
Not going to happen.
We need Laura for this.
Yeah, we do need
Otherwise-
Laura.
Yes, we need Laura for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there it is. Unless somebody else wants to join the team and be responsible for that, let me know. Don't be pussies. Okay, that was terrible. I talked about the digital left already, right? Go find them.
Yes.
Join them. I linked their website, digitalleft.com. Bunch of good people in there, former big burners, and they've got a lot of resources, and they're building a team, and we're happy to work with them, support them. We talked about Bernie saying it was the turning point. I think I'm just going to read a little bit more of what was said in this article because there's some good stuff in here from Winnie Wong with People for Bernie Sanders, which is one of the first groups that was created back then. It was like the People for Bernie Sanders and me. And we started talking. And then it branched out into this brilliant explosion of a whole bunch of other groups. Bernie Sanders' speech at the People's Summit in Chicago on Saturday will mark a turning point for the political revolution he inspired, according to the organizers behind the three-day activist event. Sanders will headline the event on Saturday night, while high-profile celebrity activists, including Mark Ruffalo, Jesse Eisenberg, and Naomi Klein, will also attend. Some of the most influential progressive organizations in the country, representing millions of people, are behind the summit, including People for Bernie, National Nurses United, and the Sanders-backed Our Revolution. And us. All of us, everybody. We're behind this. It's going to be a turning point for the people who have who have really invested in the Bernie revolution, says Winnie Wong, a key organizer of the summit and a co-founder of People for Bernie, an independent group with more than 1 million members who supported his bid for president. Wong said the summit would be a political education for organizers ahead of 2018. They will be better prepared to create campaigns that are authentic, incredible, and principled. The program is conceived to make sure that people leave with a plan. That, to me, is what is the most important thing, because my Democratic Party right now is trying to come up with a plan. We got people in it that are really eager to run candidates through a campaign school and have all their resources ready, and they've really liked what they see here. And I'm like, yes, before we go reinventing the wheel and rebuilding things, let's look at what all exists now for the revolution. Because we can probably run our candidates through a school that exists already and get them a website through a platform that exists already. And I'm not just talking like a platform that makes websites. I'm talking a place like the Digital Left that provides services for candidates specifically to run as progressives against corporate Democrats and GOP. This is the beautiful thing. Instead of everybody in their individual counties and towns in America having to make their own wheels, bigger organizations are creating these wheels for us. It's not just about dumping money into the org. It's about the orgs have coders and programmers and PR people and people with resources to be able to do these things faster and more consistently for all of our candidates. And this is what I'm looking for, because I'd rather spend my county money on many other things than building a team of people to code shit that I don't need to have coded because other people have already done it. Making graphics and doing infomercials and PDFs, and there's so much shit that a candidate needs. It's unbelievable. And we could change all that, but we got to get them elected first. Right? So, anyway, it's going to be badass. What's very healthy, Dennis? You're always doing healthy stuff. Friggin' healthy German. What's he doing that's healthy now? You know, Marcus?
Well, yes, I see. To resume the chat activity for today, as far as I saw it, was around French food and yes, and a kind of horniness to say it like this, because they never stop talking about dicks and pussies.
All right, that's the chat conversation right now.
Yes,
food and porn.
Yeah.
That's pretty human. I'm over
How
here.
many are watching, by the way?
By the way, we're talking politics in here, but if you want to talk food and porn, I'm all over it.
Or food porn.
Food porn, right? Did you see the WikiLeaks tweet where Comey said he found WikiLeaks to be the horn of the intelligence industry, and WikiLeaks said, well, then that makes James Comey a porn star.
Yes.
Thought that was quite interesting.
Yes, and there were hardcore facts, you know?
Yes.
Emails. With
Yes.
certain emails.
That's bad. That's bad. I love my dick. That is why I'm healthy, says Dennis. Very good. That's good. I don't even want to know where that's going, but I'm glad. This is kind of cool. Tesla plans to disconnect almost all superchargers from the grid and go solar plus battery, making each charging station autonomous. Because why not? If you can put your batteries there and you can store up enough energy to be recharging these packs, which is what they do, I mean, that's it. Look at that. That's a gas station. That's a gas station of the future right there. Actually, it's not the future. That's a gas station. I mean, these exist right now. He's just going to take them all off the grid. Pull up your car. You can even keep smoking. For those of you over there in Europe, because this is probably happening over there. I don't know. For those of you who claim to be healthy but then sneak cigarettes every once in a while, you know who I'm talking about. Could be a German or two I know. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't argue with you. I'll be lighting up one of these when we're done here. It's
yeah.
I
know.
Phil, a sun station, exactly. Exactly. Can you imagine when you could take a battery pack and just go exchange it somewhere? Instead of exchanging a propane tank for your barbecue? Just go, I need to go grab another pack. We're going to cook some steaks tonight. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and don't forget to bring cigarettes.
Which you can buy at the sun station.
Yeah.
We'll have clean energy from the sun and cancer-causing elements everywhere because that's the way we like it as humanity.
Yeah. We got everything.
Let's go a little farther down the road to where you could be on a road trip in your vehicle that drives itself and it stops at a station, or even like a train, like one of those Chinese trains, right, that rides the white lines and drives all by itself, pulls into a sun station to get recharged. You can get out, buy a beer, some joints, smokes, and do all that stuff because you're not driving. And get back in.
Yeah.
You know, that's
and it should find like a thirsty dog its spot. You know, it should go. It says, okay, I'm running low, and I decide no, I'll go there, and to keep my passenger quiet, I will get him some chocolate bars or something like this, or a newspaper.
Right. I mean, it just makes a lot more sense. And by the way, who's saying it? Jay Atkinson? No, who said it? Let me find it. Who's saying his Hyperloop is a bunch of bullshit? Because I disagree. Yeah, Jay Atkinson 85. His Hyperloop is a bunch of bullshit, just like his reusable rocket reentry, right? Just like his ideas on solar 10, 15 years ago. The Hyperloop makes absolute perfect sense. There are companies working on it right now. They've already done tests on it. And we need a better system. We need a way better system. And this makes sense. So I don't know. I disagree with you on that. Please show me some sources or anything, or tell me why you think it's a political or a stunt. You're saying it's just a stunt for ratings. I'm just curious why you think that. But I'm blind faithful to Elon Musk. While he uses his rocket system to launch spy satellites, I am still confident that Elon Musk is really about saving the planet, or at least saving his ass on Mars or something. I don't know. One of those two things.
Did you just swear on your Star Trek tattoo? Did I see it right?
Yeah, it's right here. When I pledge allegiance, which I never do, but it's right here, the Star Trek tattoo. Someday I'll get it. But I am wearing the last shirt from Dennis to Save the Galaxy, Plant Cannabis. Yeah. Which I can't show you or else I'll fall over in a chair. See? That's Plant Cannabis. Hey.
Yeah.
Nice shirt, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your gifts and attention and comments and sharing and everything that you do. And that goes to everybody in Slack. Yes, Marcus?
And as we are T-shirt extensioning.
Oh, yes.
I got mine today.
Beautiful. American Psycho.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what it is. I saw somebody with a really funny thing. If you take Donald Duck and his head and you turn it upside down, you get Donald Trump. It's really weird. Try that. It's a visual illusion.
Okay.
Just his head. Just his head. What else do we got? Oh, we're going to run this really quick. Oh, look, we're going to be late anyway. We did this right. We started late. We're going to end late. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a really short video about the Great Barrier Reef. I mean, I've talked about this before. We've done specials on the Great Barrier Reef, talking about how it's pretty much fucked. Right? Got problems because we're dumb. Anyway, this is UNESCO protect the Great Barrier Reef, not coal, and I guess there's a ray of hope here. It's 350.org. Let's watch this video. Now, the interesting thing about that is that Elon Musk had spoken with Australia over their power issues and said, I can solve those for you. We start with some battery packs, some solar. Australia, really good place for solar, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of heat, a lot of flat land, a lot of sun, right? So let's hope they work with Elon Musk. I know there was some butthurt there one way or the other over people, somebody who liked the fossil fuel industry better. I don't know how you could have that, the Great Barrier Reef, and be, I mean, they know, not only, something that doesn't say, not only are they mining coal, but it's the shipping of that coal through the Great Barrier Reef. They just go right through it. That's damaging as it is. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Dennis says, John, I talked about it weeks ago. They are building a coal harbor near the reef. What a crime. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just unnecessary. Completely unnecessary today. Right. Kevin says, you're better off with high-speed mag train powered by solar. I will agree with you there. We in the United States are better off with anything beyond the 19th century technology that we are using to power our trains today. While other countries have wind-powered trains and solar-powered trains and all sorts of neat, fun stuff, maglev, 300-mile fucking an hour trains, we in America have what we built around the turn of the century. Not this one, the previous one. Fucking old, stupid, diesel bullshit trains. It's just unbelievable how backwards and behind the times we are and how crappy our infrastructure is. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's like, this is our house, America. And we opened a door because we lost control and everybody's looking in and we look like shit. We look like hoarders. So we just keep pulling into crap, not really doing anything to keep things going. We got a problem. We got a problem. it's really interesting. America is facing what I would call a problem that I witnessed and I didn't really understand in Mexico once. We went to the Mall of America in Mazatlan or whatever. If you ever been there, they make sure there's a bubble for tourists, mostly American tourists, but it's a bubble, so you don't really see the poverty and everything going on outside of the tourism, so you don't have to be worried about it, right? And they work really hard at that in Mexico. You go outside, like ride the normal bus and take it somewhere, which is a scary thing to begin with. A lot of times they don't stop. You just got to catch up with it. Sometimes they're missing floors. Anyway, you go to the Mall of America, and what you see on the way are basically tin huts, homes without floors, just poor areas, ridiculous. And you go into the mall and you see people that are buying the latest American jeans and the latest American this and that and everything. They're caught up in that consumerism. America has been caught up in that consumerism so long that we've run ourselves poor, and that retail collapse is about to really hit. It's very interesting what's happening right now. There's just a massive economic collapse that is affecting our country right now, and it's the catalyst for our change, and it's fantastic. It's just wonderful. We've got climate to deal with, and we're all gonna have to deal with that, and we have the destruction of America. We have to rebuild this place. It's scary, but it's fun. I'm excited about that now because I've found allies, and I've got you guys, and we've got all this technology, and I think we can do it, right? And we have a Jedi or two on our team. I will give Bernie Sanders Jedi status. Nina Turner also. Who are the Jedis for the political revolution? We already talked about the penis stuff, so I'm going to move beyond that. Markus, do you have any words of wisdom you want to impart today on everybody?
What topic? French food or penis?
Whichever you're going after, right? What are you hard on right now?
I would root for French food.
Okay. What do you want to talk about in that regard?
Clearly.
Well, what about French food? Go on.
Bouillabaisse. I love the French bouillabaisse. This is a French fish soup, and they offer it with a lot of nice sauces and perfect bread. And it's well, I don't want to talk about it because I'm starting to drool.
And it's evening for you, so you could go get that for dinner. Can you get good French food where you are?
No, not really. You got to go to France.
How far is that for you?
To Paris, about 5 hours.
That's a long way to go for dinner. That's a long way.
Yeah, by car, you know.
By car. You get on one of those super fast trains, be there a shorter time, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We don't have those things here.
Because if you go to Paris, you got to calculate that you will be in traffic jam for a minimum 1 hour.
Yeah, yikes. Well, here in America, you can get French food, good French food, pretty much any time. McDonald's took care of that a long time ago. Just saying.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, guys. All right, we're at the end of this. Thank you for putting up with this disjointed show. I really relied on Katie mostly to deliver a good quality report, and she did. 2 reports. So thank you, Katie, for really kicking some serious ass in that regard. And if Markus is around later, he'll probably be asleep. He'd join us for the evening show with Jim Hightower. Otherwise, I'm hoping I can see you tomorrow morning, Markus.
Yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. And I know Laura Live is going to be joining us. And everybody check with us. I didn't really go through the whole thing, but I just want to make it clear that tonight's just Jim Hightower, and there's some other things going on after that. Tomorrow, all day, we will be going between live events between Scott and the People's Summit. So tomorrow's just going to be Streamathon Fest, and we'll have a bunch of people on. We'll have a good time, and get ready for that. Go out and get your black tea and get you some joints and some French food and some dick if you need it, and sit down with us and let's do the People's Summit, and let's get excited about our democracy, right? And we're gonna get out of here. Oh, you're welcome, David. Thank you for being here. Hey, David Zen Master, I haven't seen you for a long time. Jim Hightower is tonight at. Thank you, Dennis. You're so awesome. What time is Jim Hightower? Tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. All right. I may go live, so that I'm going to go live at that's 4 p.m. for 5 p.m. for me. But I'm probably going to go live a little bit before that. Say hi to everybody. Maybe talk about some news, something else that's collapsed in America between now and then, right? And then, you know, 45 will have said something stupid between now and then. So we'll talk about that. Get everybody going, and then we'll watch this. It'll be good. Be good. We're going out with "End of the Corporate Age," the whole song, because we just think about this, everybody. 2 years ago, and it really was like we're in May or June. We're in June, but really it was 2 years ago in May when Bernie Sanders said, "I'm doing this thing."
Yeah.
And it was June about this time where Bernie 2016 TV was formed and doing shit and getting going. I mean, it's been 2 years. Look at where we are. We're replacing people all across the country. We've got candidates running. We've got millions of Americans that are awake, pissed off, and confronting their representatives all across the country. Mainstream media has no fucking idea what to do. The GOP is in a disheveled. The top leadership in the DNC is destroyed. We, the people, have taken control as much as we can grab a hold of, and we're climbing for the rest as fast as we can. It may not look pretty from the outside, but by God, it's coming together on the inside. Be proud of that. Marcus?
Word. Absolutely word, John.
We're doing it, everybody. It may not be the way you want it to be in your mind. It's not like anybody wants it to be in their minds. Just keep working it. Because it's happening. We're going to win. We're going to win. It's the end of the corporate age.
The wealthiest people of this country have seen a tremendous increase in their income, while at the same time, the standard of living of working people and poor people has declined.
CEOs make more than 500 times of what their workers make.
The middle class is shrinking. Poverty is increasing, while at the same time, the people on top are doing phenomenally well.
People always tell me, man, you're wasting your time. Can't you see the monolith is immobile? Yes, I tell them kindly, still I've made up my mind. 'Cause the sky above's as big and limitless as it ever was. Gather round, people, in the town square. It's the end of the corporate age. There's a new caveat, let the center beware. This is the end of the corporate age. There's no quick and easy remedy that won't end in more calamity.
I mean, this is a fantastic time. From my standpoint, this is the best time that I've ever had.
All the bloviators keep on spreading the meme that there's only so much room at the table, telling us we're lucky to be eating the scraps. But we've got all the facts, and we're taking our places back.
Billionaires shouldn't be allowed to hide in the shadows. Make them step out in the open where the American people can see.
Gather round, people, in the town square. It's the end of the corporate age. There's a new caveat, let the center beware. This is the end of the corporate age.
We are well on our way to seeing our great country move toward an oligarchic form of government.
There's no quick
are so powerful that no president can take them on unless tens of millions of people say, guess what, Washington? You are going to start representing the needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on.